Good morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. Big day here in Seattle. Just a massive Sunday around the sports world for us. You guys didn't lose either.
We didn't play,
but you didn't lose. Small victories, right?
Right.
But we should probably kick this thing off with massive coach firing.
Mm-hmm.
Eating $48 million.
I thought it was 54.
Oh, is it 54?
I saw this morning that they're eating 54.6 million.
Oh, okay. So the initial report was 48.
Let me get you the exact number because they said it was the second most money that was ever being eaten on a contract.
Okay.
But I can't remember even what the most was.
So it, you never know there, Rob, where everybody is. Some of it might have been that I got the link out late because I thought I sent it, and then I realized I hadn't. So some of it might be on me.
So they are eating 49.75 million.
There we go.
Is what they're eating on James Franklin.
Okay. Man, that is a ton of money to pay somebody to not coach. That being said, I would love to be a fired college coach. Give me $50 million to not do my job. Man, I'm in.
$8 million a year, I guess, for the next 5+ years is what they're going to be paying him.
I feel like I could probably make the numbers bump together for $8 million a year. I could probably pay my bills.
You could probably buy better. You could probably buy a nice house outside of downtown area.
Yeah. I mean, I love my house, but I'd probably move.
Right. For $8 million a year, you probably do a lot more things.
Yeah, exactly.
Most
people could swing it.
I mean, realistically, though, Penn State had no choice. Like, you lost to Oregon on a game you shouldn't have lost at home. The game went double overtime, but you couldn't score worth a crap, and you had 3 chances to put Oregon away, and you couldn't do it. But I think people will look at that game and be like, okay, Oregon's a top 5 team. You guys lost in double overtime. Like, we're not going to use that against you. But not only did you let UCLA win their first game of the year the week after that, but you got completely curb stomped by UCLA the week after that. And then you let not a very good Northwestern team come into Penn State yesterday, and they out-physicaled you. And that is something that Penn State has never had an issue with, is playing physical football, and Northwestern was far more physical than they were yesterday. And that's what the problem is.
And that UCLA loss that's tough.
Yeah.
Right? If you're losing to ranked teams, you don't feel that bad about it. I mean, you don't want to lose, but if you do, you're like, okay, I get it, right? It's a ranked team. Understand. When you lose to a team like UCLA, who had already fired their coach and has a lot of turmoil within, just the organization in general, that's not a loss you can take if you are trying to say you're a national championship contender.
Mm-hmm. And then yesterday, losing Drew Aller, too, for the rest of the year. I mean, even if Penn State would have found a way to win that game yesterday, their season ended when they found out that Drew Aller was done. Like, they have no shot they would have had no shot to be a college football playoff team without Aller.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's what helped them finally just be like, hey, you know what? We're not going to do anything this year anyway. Let's go ahead and get you out of here. Still, eating $50 million is brutal. That is an insane number. But, I mean, it's not like it's any different than the NFL, right? I mean, a couple of years ago, there was the stat that there was $780 million worth of contracts being paid to coaches that weren't coaching. So, I mean, that isn't unique to college or coaching, I guess, really. When you think of the Browns, they're paying 8 quarterbacks right now.
Exactly.
So, I mean, hey.
More on them.
It's the Browns, though. So you just expect dysfunction, but it's just sports wide, right? Can't even say league wide because it's college too. So, yeah, pretty crazy. All right, let's jump into the NFL. No Jay, but the Cowboys are just bad. Like there's no getting around it. I don't know that the Cowboys or the Ravens honestly can right the ship at this point.
Ravens, I think, can, just because they have their bye week next week. And then Harbaugh's already said that Lamar Jackson's going to be back in week 8.
Mm-hmm.
And after week 8, Baltimore's schedule gets really soft. Like to the point where they could rip off 5 or 6 straight wins with how soft that schedule is. And like, I'm not saying Baltimore's going to sit here and be like I'm not going to sit here and say Baltimore's a great team, because they're not. But a healthy Lamar Jackson does make a massive difference. And if they have a softer schedule where theoretically they should win a handful of games, Baltimore can play themselves back into at least a playoff conversation. With Pittsburgh being 4-1, I think the division might be out of that question now, but they can still play themselves into like a 6 or a 7 seed.
I mean, if they go on a 4-game run, they're still only 500.
Yep.
So I mean, it's not like ripping off 4 runs is something that's like, oh, it'll catapult us ahead. I mean, that gets you back to 0.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, because right now they have the Bears, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Jets, the Bengals right after that bye week.
Yeah.
With the Vikings mixed in there. And then they have the Bengals again. And then their end of the season, they have the Patriots, Packers, and Steelers. So it's a tough ending of the season. But those first 5 or 6 games right out the bye, they're probably going to be favored in all those games.
Yeah, I mean, if it can get them back into it, obviously, all you got to do is get in the mix. So, I mean, I'm not discounting the fact that they could find their way an outside shot, especially since the Bengals are done. The Dolphins are done. Like, some of the players that you thought might have had a shot at some of those wild card spots aren't actually players this year. So not to say that they're cooked, but 1-5, you're getting close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, it's probably going to be a little too late.
The NFC is just too deep.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, the Cowboys have put themselves, like, the Cowboys are going to be a good team offensively when CeeDee Lamb comes back. The defense is a different story. Like, they have so many defensive issues. But even if CeeDee Lamb comes back and the Cowboys start winning some games, the NFC is such a deep conference this year that it's going to be hard for the Cowboys to leapfrog all these teams.
Yeah, I don't think they do, right? Like the NFC, there's just too many good teams. Unless they go on a run, but your defense just isn't built for that. Unfortunately, what best case scenario, you're third in your division.
Mm-hmm. 7 seed best case scenario in the NFC, and then you're going to whoever the 2 seed is, Tampa Bay, the Rams, the Eagles. Like, that's your first playoff game. Lions,
Seahawks.
I
mean, they're sitting 4-2 also. So I mean, it's tough to say. I just don't see a scenario where the Cowboys find their way in.
Right.
What's up, dude?
Morning. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right.
Yeah, I would say that I overslept.
It happens. I also got the link out late because I thought I had sent it earlier. And then I got down here and was like, oh, nobody's here. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if I actually sent that. Sure didn't.
That's what happens sometimes.
It does. It does.
But, exactly. Where Mondays where Seattle is up 1-0.
Yeah.
In the ALCS.
What's up, Dave? Yeah, I mean, the Mariners are really good at making this stressful. The pitching has been outstanding. And I was really curious going into game 1, especially having game 5 be the way that it was, right? 15 innings. You basically used every pitcher in the building. And, you come out and you throw a gem the way they did. That was impressive to me, especially against a team that was hitting batting practice against the Yankees.
And Miller deserves a ton of credit because not only was he on short rest, but he was like the only starter Seattle could have turned to yesterday because everybody else, like you said, was used in game 5. Yep. But if you look at that first inning, he threw 27 or 28 pitches in the first inning. And he still went 6 innings because the rest of the game he threw 47 pitches the next 5 innings. Like the rest of his innings were 9-10 pitches done.
Well, it's crazy when you think of the fact they finished the game at 100 pitches.
Exactly. And he threw 27 in the first inning.
Yeah. No, I mean it was amazing how efficient the pitching was after that first inning. And I mean, I was a little worried.
That sounds like Toronto's fault. Actually. That means they're not working counts. Listen, when you get past the 4th inning, when you're in the 4th inning and you're going through the middle of the second time around the order and you guys aren't hitting the ball, you got to start to tell them to look at pitches. You got to let them, he's got to throw that first pitch strike every time. Mm-hmm. You almost got to sit with the bat on your shoulder to let him, figure that out, because you can't even start to get into your thought process on hitting the ball until after there's 1 strike, because you want the pitches to connect.
The thing that's funny is he was so efficient with his slider. Yeah. He was hitting the top of the zone, so whether they swung or they didn't, it was a strike. Like he was so dialed in location wise. After that first pitch, home run, he really had it dialed in from there.
And I think he got to the point.
And the guys were hitting for contact, so it's not like it's not like they were striking out or anything like that. Like they were hitting to contact. He was just throwing it in a way that they were hitting it to people.
And I think he got to the point with Toronto too, where he was doing such a good job of locating that slider basically wherever he wanted to put it. That Toronto was basically saying, we're just going to swing at the first pitch fastball. So whether that was the first or second pitch in the count, they wanted to swing at that fastball before that slider got there.
Yeah. And Polanco's been awesome in the 2 series. Like he's been huge for the Mariners. Cal's still doing work. He hits a dinger in this game. Did you guys see the Toronto fan that had the giant butt plug on his shirt? He was right behind home plate.
No.
Oh yeah. So Cal was up, and you see him in the background with this massive butt plug with a 29 on it. It didn't work out for him because he still ended up hitting a home run.
Right.
But it was a hilarious shirt. It was a hilarious shirt. There's a John Boy about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it pop across my feed, so I'm going to have to go check it out because inevitably he's going to say something hilarious about it. What's up, Moose? But that was a great win for Game 1. Obviously, stealing one in Toronto is huge as well. But more than anything, just watching the bats cool off for Toronto. I mean, the first 2 games against the Yankees, they put up 24, 25 runs.
They said they averaged 9.5 runs a game against the Yankees in that series. So
yeah, I mean, that's insane, right? Like that is, especially to turn around and only have 1 run against a pitching staff that, one day turn around on.
Yeah, they retired 23 of the last 24.
Rob, who was your suicide pick?
Oh, I don't
Rob's suicide pick. And listen, it's one of these times where if you pick one of the games today, we'll allow it to count, because I know I wasn't here on Friday. I was on a plane.
Oh, actually, he didn't pick. He didn't pick one.
So pick one for tonight. You got Bills, Falcons, Bears, Commanders to keep you in the loop here.
50-50 shot.
25% chance, because there's 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, but 2 of them are going to win.
Well, yeah, but he's got a 1 in 4 chance of picking a winner. So something like that. That all being said, obviously I wasn't here on Friday, and I don't know if you guys were having a funeral for me or something, because it was. We did give our condolences to you. No funeral, but we did give our condolences to you and Brad.
Yeah, to having every major sport lose the same day is kind of rough.
Yeah, and then if you count the Sixers, in a full 24 hours, we had all 4 teams lose.
Exactly.
It's funny because there has only been one time in the history of having 4 teams in a city play games. There's only been like 3 times that it's ever happened. The other time was in 1980. Philadelphia had it, and they won all 4 games.
Oh, okay.
So it was October 19th going into the 20th. It happened to be my birthday, actually. My birthday's on the 20th of October. So it's kind of funny to think that, hey, at one point in 1980, all 4 teams won. Different type of losing. And I got to feel bad for the pitcher because, he just panicked, and there didn't need to be panic. But, it was just, I think what happened, because when you see how wide the throw went, that he realized he shouldn't be throwing it home, and then the ball got out of his hand. Like the momentum took the ball out of his hands, which is why it went over there instead of even to the catcher. Because had he thrown it directly to JT, the guy would have been out because he had to go back and touch the plate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it just kind of worked out that way. But
Rob picked the
Well, and he
Commanders.
would've
Rob
completed.
picked the Commanders, by the way.
Yeah, he's got
Okay.
the Commanders. I mean, he probably would have completed the tag anyway had he caught it.
Bruce, I'll let you do the same thing because I didn't grab your pick either. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to go ahead and pick one of the 4 teams tonight, you let me know.
Yeah, I don't have it downloaded there, but I'll include it when I end up doing a Mariners promo piece at the end.
That's cool that you guys are going though. Like I said, I'm definitely rooting for you guys. And there's a piece of me that thinks that I might even show up for one of the games.
I got you.
Out there for the World Series. It would be cool to kind of see that. Obviously, I wouldn't get painted up. I'd probably wear my Phillies Friday jersey because that kind of looks like your jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Nobody would even notice. Actually, I think they'll be like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like ours.
Yeah, they're only identical. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Just I'll wear like a trident or something for the Navy, and then we'll be good. Yeah, look at that. You actually did pick a right one there with the Packers there, Jay or Joe.
Yeah, that is.
He got Tampa Bay winning.
Oh, okay.
How about them being the number 1? Frankie picking the Panthers.
Yeah, speaking of Tampa Bay, I know Bo and I kind of briefly talked about this before we went on air, but Baker Mayfield's got to be the front runner for MVP right now. Like Baker Mayfield is playing out of his damn mind right now.
Right this second.
Sure. And it's funny, like if there was ever a MVP moment, it was
that run.
That 3rd and 13 that he sheds like four guys and rumbles ahead to pick it up, stretches across as he gets tackled. Like that is the epitome of an individual effort right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is just the way he plays.
Yeah, and like the win yesterday, like obviously I think Tampa Bay was obviously going to win that division. Like Tampa Bay was going to make the playoffs, in my opinion, because they're the best team in that division. But that win yesterday, winning against San Francisco, who's a good team, doing it without Godwin.
Are they a good team?
They're a good team. They're not a great team. They're a good team. Like they're going to be a team battling for like a wild card spot. Like they're still a good team.
Not. They lost Warner for the year.
Well, now they might not be. But at the time, they were still a 4-1 team. Like they were still a solid team. But to win that game without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin, without Bucky Irving, like 3 of their best offensive weapons, and then to go and win that game, like that just shows you how deep and talented Tampa Bay is this year. Because they're down 3 of their best players right now, and they're still a 5-1 team.
Well, and I think that they, like I said, they don't play Carolina to the end of the season. And who would have thought that I actually start to give Carolina a better shot at beating them. Like I would have never have thought that, but Carolina's starting to come together. Like that's
3-0,
this is
3-0 at home.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When you start winning games at home, that's actually the start of the trend. Like
Yep.
you like it when as the team gets better, they start winning games at home, and then they start pulling out some weirdo wins on the road just because they have like they said, them beating the Cowboys actually is going to give them a little bit of pride. You know what I mean? That they beat a good offense.
Yeah.
That defense sucks nuts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I mean, it's that's
they
going
have
to give them a little bit of pride.
And they have a tough decision to make in a couple of weeks too, because Chuba Hubbard was their starting running back heading into the season. But the last 2 games that Chuba's been out, you have Rico Dowdle's got over 460 yards rushing in 2 weeks. So do you go back to Chuba Hubbard or do you stick with Rico Dowdle? Because Dowdle's got over 200.
460 yards in 2 weeks?
He had 238 last week, and this week against Dallas, he had 212.
Yeah.
He's been just on a tear the last 2 weeks.
And that's why
so then at that point, there is no question.
Exactly.
There's no question mark. Right now, I am going to stick with the very, very, very hot hand.
Yeah, and he only
200 yards a game rushing.
He signed a 1-year deal.
Guess what? Yeah, as you should.
With this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always easy to re-sign somebody now.
Right. And the funny thing was he was on Dallas last year, and he had over 1,000 yards rushing on Dallas last year. He was a late free agent signing by the Panthers, which is why he only got a 1-year deal. So people thought he would kind of split the carries evenly with Chuba Hubbard. Through 4 games, the guy had like 200 yards rushing. Not even 200 yards rushing. He had like 175 through 4 games. Like he wasn't getting any touches at all the first 4 weeks. All of a sudden, Chuba goes down with an ankle injury, and now Dowdle's got almost 500 yards in 2 weeks. And it's just like, oh, maybe we should have been starting you since week 1.
I mean, that's how you win a starting job, right? Is you are the backup, and then someone gets hurt, and you get to come in and show out. And if you do, it's your job. So,
yeah. They already got him. So whoever, I guess somebody picked him up after his first 230-yard game. I haven't paid that much attention to.
He was on my bench for fantasy the first couple of games just because he wasn't doing anything, and then I had a running back on a bye last week, so I had to stick him in there. Now he got me 33 and 31 the last 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, you're probably not going off back to the bench anytime soon,
right? I mean, eventually teams are going to figure it out, but
yeah, I mean, exactly. Because right now I've got a running back that plays for the Eagles who ran for 2,000 yards last year, but I don't think he even has 200 total yards yet.
Yeah, so put that into perspective. So Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL right now with 603 yards rushing through 6 games. Javonte Williams of Dallas is number 2 in the NFL with 476. Dowdle is number 3 in the NFL with 472, and 450 came the last 2 weeks. So he had 22 yards rushing the first 4 games of the year, and now he's got 450 the last 2 games.
He's catching up.
Yeah,
he's moving on up.
Right. It also lets you know that guys like Saquon and Henry really just aren't doing much this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they've been getting keyed on. So I watched a video, a really well done video. Somebody who broke down the Eagles' offense in total, and it was that every running play, you could tell, like it was like, hey, this is the anomaly. They're going to run from this. They're in the pistol formation, and it's 3-by-1. They got three receivers on the one side, 1 receiver on the other side, and they run it. It's a run play, and they know it every time. Every single running play. He showed every single running play in this last game, and every single one of them, 3-and-1, 3 wide receivers one side, 1 wide receiver the other side, run play. If they lined up 2-2, 1 went in motion, they made it 3-and-1, and
so they don't actually like trips then, as far as being a pass play. That's interesting.
It was odd how much he's like, and and he said it's down and distance, down and distance. It's first and 10, second and 10. That's like they don't run the ball any other time. So it's like he said, it was that predictable.
Yeah,
it's
So-
been that predictable of an offense.
since we're talking about the Eagles, do you think that sequence where they ran the tush push 4 plays in a row, do you think that is the one that ultimately gets that play banned?
No.
Because if there ever was a case for it where people were on the fence, I think watching that, people are like, I don't love that. I mean, even when you're listening to some of the commentators who were on board to keep the play, they're like, yeah, I don't want to see that.
I mean, they scored the touchdown, right?
They did. But it's not about the effectiveness. It's optics, right? So that is where doing it 4 times in a row, I think, is one of those things. It's like, okay, that might ultimately get this thing banned, especially because 2 of those plays, the guards jumped off sides and they didn't get called. So the fact that it's not getting officiated correctly, they run it 4 times in a row. Yeah, they score, but I think it's just the optics of it that might get some of the voters that were on the fence before to change that vote.
So you know what else you've noticed that I've noticed throughout the league? Because if you ban the tush push, that means you got to ban there has been a lot more scrums outside of hiking the ball.
Oh, so, no. I mean,
lots of scrums.
Pushing a guy
forward to first down and stuff like that. Exactly. All that's got to get blocked then. The moment that you do that, you stop the tush push. You got to stop all those other plays too. And just because a team doesn't use it as a tush push, they got the side push when the wide receiver gets the ball, and then we're going to just push him all forward. Hey, listen, nobody says a word about that. Nobody said a word when the Rams were using the tush push. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When the 49ers are using the tush push, nobody's saying a word about that.
No, and I don't think it would have really gotten any more press except for the fact that they ran it 4 times in a row. So I think that was really what triggered it. Yeah. But at the same time, obviously any of those where you have offensive linemen pushing a running back downfield, stuff like that, all of that ultimately gets banned in that same scenario for sure. So because you can't just randomly pick where on the field you can do it.
That's correct.
It's either a rule or it's not.
Correct. And that's what's got to happen. And they don't want that to happen.
Yeah. See, and this is the thing is a lot of people really didn't like that sequence. Maybe they didn't care either way about the play itself. Like for me, I'm looking at it as if you don't like it, stop it, make it 3rd and long for them instead of 3rd and 1. And you're not going to see the tush push anyway. Right. But that sequence, you're just like, okay, like that. It was bad optics, especially because 2 of the plays, guys jumped offsides that they couldn't effectively officiate. And I think it's the officiating part of it that ultimately changes people's minds on it. Oh, he disappeared.
Oh, here I am. I'm back. So I think that this is a play that's going to have to start to get officiated from above. Like ultimately, this is what's going to allow that.
Brad's here.
Hey, somebody.
Allow that. So the reason why Brad wasn't here probably was because I wasn't here on Friday. So it's I didn't share to my people. So I apologize about that. But I was on a plane.
Yep.
But I mean, that's going to wind up creating the off-field umpire is what that's going to be. It's going to be the proverbial camera flag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was one of them that was super obvious, and if you would have had the camera flag, like that would have been immediate.
So what you're going to wind up seeing is I think that there is going to be a sideline judge, who is just there, that's going to have the earpiece, And that's going to be how they throw the flag on the field, because I don't know if you noticed that, but when referees throw the flag, they put it at the marker. That's the yard marker that the flag was thrown.
Yeah.
And so that's why when you see flags come flying out of nowhere, and then sometimes just flags fall to the ground, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's because they're actually marking the yard line that they're doing that at.
Yeah, it's also the location of where it happened. So you'd be like, okay, this is where it is. That way, when they get into their huddle to talk about it, they're like, this is where it happened. This is what I saw.
Right. Exactly. So you're going to see somebody on the sidelines. I think you're going to wind up. He's going to be right next to the guy who literally throws who's got the pole saying what down it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Brad. Do you want to tell him, or should I tell him? Because that World Series can't happen.
Yeah, right.
That World Series can't happen.
I bet you that's going to be the NLCS.
Yeah, I bet you that starts. I bet you that starts tonight. That's going to be the
NLCS.
NLCS tonight.
Yeah, it's a safe bet. In fact,
if you want to bet money on that NLCS, you might as well do it now, because it's going to happen.
And we actually started off with that, Brad.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that, but here's my thoughts. Yay!
They had no choice.
They didn't have a choice. It was the second largest payout of all time.
Yep.
You know, he's real happy about that. He doesn't have to do anything for the rest of his life. I would have definitely taken the fight out of me.
Yeah. You can work for this money or not. Okay.
You mean I can sit at home and leave the country and still get paid $8 million a year for the next 5+ years? Damn, sold.
Sign me up.
10. Actually, like 11.2. He's got $56 million coming to him.
No, it ended up being 49.75.
It's a $10 million.
Yeah.
For 5 years to do nothing. Hey, that's fine.
Right.
You just took a number 2 team in the country.
Yeah, there we go.
You went from the number 2 team in the country to losing 3 games straight.
Yep.
And 2 of them were
such dissension in your locker room that people have already declared for the portal.
And 2 of the losses were unacceptable. Like usually losing to UCLA, who had not won a game prior to that prior to that game, and not only winning but putting 48 up on Penn State that day. That's an inexcusable loss in itself. And then losing yesterday to Northwestern the way they lost, and just getting out muscled and out physical by a team that they had no business being out physical by. That just shows you that there's a lot of dissension between the head coaching staff, the head coach, and just the players.
I mean, imagine that. You only have to have 3 bad weeks of your career, and you just get a $50 million payout to go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I can suck at my job for 3 weeks.
CEOs have it all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
They
sure.
they get these $100 million buyouts
I'm
to
in.
leave the company.
Golden parachute. Let's go. Yep. Yeah, we do get Wu back, and hopefully that means because they had to open a roster spot. Hopefully that means Vargas is, on vacation, so he can stop hurting our team.
Well, hey, listen, he got you there. He helped get you there, even though it may not have been. You can't take away what he may add to that dugout. He may not be performing out there on the field, but in the dugout, he might be irreplaceable.
Well, I think they might have just replaced him. So,
Right.
But hey, listen, I have learned a lot about this Phillies team over the last couple of weeks. And
What's up, Nicky?
It's been interesting. It has been very interesting. So I'm going to keep some of these things to myself for the moment because I want to overanalyze this a little bit. But it's been a challenge. This has been a very interesting challenge across the board to watch some of the dynamics that happened in that dugout occur.
Mhm.
And interestingly enough, as certain people were pointing the fingers, the one person who actually, was maligned the most, maybe from inside that clubhouse, was the only one that got an RBI in that game. Interestingly enough.
And you're right, Rob. He did everything in his power in that 15-inning game to not let Vargas pitch. Like, he was the one pitcher that they're like, yeah, absolutely not.
Him and Miller were the only two guys that weren't going to throw that night. It's like, well, we need Miller to start game one if we get there, and we don't want to lose, so Vargas, you're just going to stay over here. And everybody else can come in.
That was going to be the hard part about game 5 for us because they started to use pitchers in the 11th. Like I said, once you got to Luzardo, you have to keep going with Luzardo. Mm-hmm. You can't change pitching. I thought that was a mistake. I also thought it was a mistake of intentionally walking Ohtani. He has been the one guy who, listen, if he beats you, he beats you.
Sure.
But he has gotten one measly hit this series, and he got on base earlier in the game on an error. So it's like, how do you not you put him on base and you got to Mookie Betts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was mistake number one. And then of course he walked him.
I mean, you could say the same. You could say the same thing about Schwarber in Game 3 too. Like, the first two games, Schwarber did nothing, and all of a sudden, Game 3, he goes off for 2 home runs, and it's like Dave Roberts. You look at him, he's like, well, he beat us. It is what it is. Like, if he's gonna beat us, he's gonna beat us, and today he beat us.
Right. So, and I also for whatever reason, I don't know why the Phillies had such a hard time with that last Dodger pitcher. It's just that baffled me. I didn't quite understand why he was able to beat us and be so strong against us, and he seemed unhittable. Yeah. He wasn't unhittable at all. He was throwing 92 to 94 miles an hour. I mean, Trey Turner got nothing but changeups, and Schwarber got nothing but sliders. And realistically, it didn't matter what you pitched to Harper because he couldn't put the bat on the ball well. So they were going with curveballs against Castellanos most of the time. He was reaching a lot of the time. Some of the times he wound up hitting the ball, and that's it wound up going right down the line when he did that. But, hey, what's up, Dom? It was very, very frustrating. It was a very frustrating series, knowing that we really could have won all 3 of those games that we lost.
Yeah, we had a good weekend, Frankie. I can't post that next one though. But I agree.
But
yeah,
and then
Rob, so honestly, in that Game 5, both starting pitchers got pulled too soon. Mm-hmm. I think both of those guys had at least another inning in them. And then, after watching this thing go 15, probably would have made it easier on the back end of the pitching staff. But I honestly, both those pitchers should have been able to go longer because Skubal actually had more pitches thrown than our starter did. So, both of them getting pulled when they did, I didn't love in the moment. But we got the win. So, I mean, overall, I'm not mad at it. But in the moment, I was.
So Kepler, I don't think that he really lived up to what he was supposed to be brought out here for. Obviously, Jordan Romano, they were not going to pitch him at all.
No.
I know he was on the roster, but they did everything they could not to bring him out. Very similar. Like it was like they would had to get to the 27th inning, 28th inning before that. But I don't know who this Leonardo guy is.
It's Leonardo da Vinci.
Are they images or something? Because it's just blank on my side.
Yeah, I got to imagine they're GIFs that he's putting up.
I gotcha.
Doesn't show GIFs there.
Yeah.
Leo.
Don't know what you got going on, but since it's a GIF, it's probably weird.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like I guess it's an analytics thing that make that occur.
It is. I don't love it. Like if you got a guy that's doing well, just let him keep doing well, right?
Yeah,
like,
and that's
I mean, when we pulled ours, he gave up a double. Right? He gives up a home run, first pitch, struggles a little bit through the first, and then is just knocking people down. It's the sixth inning, he gives up a double, and immediately they're like, and you're out. And it's like, you can just have a bad pitch. Like
that's what I got mad about Craig Counsell with during the Cubs and Brewers. Granted, it wouldn't have made a difference anyways, because the games that they pulled their starters early, they ended up winning anyways. But the entire 8 games that the Cubs had in the playoffs, none of their starters made it into the 6th inning. They were all gone after 4 innings, or like 4 2/3. They were all gone after 57 to 65 pitches. And that's because Counsell basically said you're facing the lineup twice, and then you're getting pulled. But yet you had a pitcher who had a 1-hitter through 4 2/3 innings and was at 52 pitches. It's like, why are you pulling him? Like, your bullpen is being taxed at this point because you keep throwing your bullpen more innings than your starters. Like, why not let your starter go 6 or 7 innings right now when you got a 1-hitter through 4 2/3 and they haven't done anything against them?
Yep. I just like that Frankie and Joe and everybody are just gonna go after this Leo guy. I like it.
We get some of the most interesting comments.
Yep. Hey, but on the plus side, you help us get paid. So keep saying stupid stuff because we enjoy your views. So thanks for playing along. Whether you like our teams or not, the views of you. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So they just dropped the list of potential replacements for James Franklin.
Okay.
And there are some strange names on there, which if I was those coaches, I wouldn't want anything to do with Penn State right now, because I think a lot of players are going to enter the portal anyways. But they have Matt Rule from Nebraska. They have Dan Mullen from UNLV as 2 of the names on there. There's a bunch of like Lance Leipold from Kansas, but then there's like a bunch of like smaller coaches from like the Group of 5 conferences. The one name that could be intriguing though is Kirk Cignetti at Indiana, as they have him listed as the number 2 candidate to replace James Franklin at Penn State. And you look at how quick he's turned Indiana around. If he goes to Penn State, that'd be a very interesting combination, I think, because obviously Kirk Cignetti's proven that he's a winner. He's proven he knows how to recruit, and he doesn't have problems winning games against top 10 and top 5 opponents like James Franklin did.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I imagine they're going to pull the trigger on somebody relatively quick.
I think they finish out this year with whoever's going to take over James Franklin, and then once you get to December 1st, when you have when most of the coaches get fired on December 1st, just because that's like the buyout window or whatever, that's when I see them pulling the trigger on a new coach. I don't think they'll hire somebody in season until after December 1st.
Maybe. Guess it depends on, who they're really looking at.
I mean, if they go get Nick Saban, they can get him now, but
they could go get that.
If they want somebody else that's not currently coaching somewhere, they'd have to wait till after December 1st.
Your Florida Panthers. Is that because they happen to be the closest team to you in Atlanta there, Leonardo? And go Navy. Beat Army.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. I'm like, you know, it's such a boring sports day for me anyways. The Flyers start tonight at home.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, again, it was a good weekend here in Seattle. Somehow the Seahawks beat the Jags with 5 starting DBs out. So that was that was surprising. I'm not going to lie, that was surprising, especially because they sack him 7 times. He still had 3.1 seconds to throw most of the day. So I mean, they hit him 17 times, they sack him 7. Interesting that we were getting some coverage sacks like that, because 3.1 is plenty of time to throw in the NFL. So for them to be good enough in coverage with literally 2 corners that came off the practice squad, it was surprised. That they played as well as they did, but they get the win, and that was a huge win.
I mean, it does help when you have the NFL's leading receiver too in JSN.
and yes, I finally picked a San Fran loss correctly. Yeah, it's because that team is so hurt. They should be losing, and they've been finding ways to win. But yesterday was not that day. Leo, nobody cares.
You know what? It's one thing. It's one thing but you're obviously just going to be a hater. So I'm going to.
Oh, you're going to get blocked. How about that?
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Now you're gone.
I mean,
he's just being a hater to be a hater.
When you got Frankie in here, say, that is awesome. We are overrated. What's up, Troy? Good times.
Never a dull moment. It's like, listen, I don't mind a little bit of banter. You could come in here and play that game a little bit, but you can't control all of the things that you think you can. Sorry, buddy. Bye. If you don't follow me anyway, so get off my page.
Oh, those are the best. He probably also has like 3 followers. It's probably just a full-on.
He had 3 followers. He had 3.
It's
the only reason why he worked for the Army. It said that he worked for the Army. Who knows? He's got a guy smoking a joint as his as his background page. So who really knows? I don't.
Yeah. No, I mean that's always the case, right? Anybody that's coming in, it's always some like burner troll account that has 3 followers that are probably his other burner accounts.
Right.
Him and Kevin
Durant. Philly media cover PSU. It does. It was big news out here.
Yeah, him and Kevin Durant work together.
So, and he's from Atlanta of all places. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm like. You obviously don't know what the hell you're even talking about.
From Atlanta, that's even funnier because they have a habit of blowing championship caliber teams.
I'm not sure if he's, I'm going to keep my mouth quiet on that one too. That seemed like a great setup that I'm not going to smack down now.
I don't know why Robert doesn't trust your offense, because the offense has actually looked good for the most part, especially the passing game.
So he doesn't like the play calls, but the big thing, if you really want to see where this team struggles, is our pass protection is actually really good. Our run blocking isn't.
Yeah.
So that is something that is
and that honestly doesn't surprise me, because every stop that Kubiak has made, whether it was with the Vikings, the Saints, the Panthers, and now the Seahawks, they were always one of the best teams in the NFL when it came to pass protection, which you saw kind of in the numbers that Cousins put up and some of the numbers that Drew Brees put up and a lot of the quarterbacks that he's worked with. but for whatever reason, they were always ranked towards the bottom of the league in run protection.
Well, in this case, we have a starter that is a problem on the line.
Yeah.
And so, Rob, if you want to look at why our run, our run protection has been an issue, go look at Bradford. Just go watch film and watch Bradford directly. In pass pro, he's buddying up to somebody to help block, but he gives up free rushers all the time. If you look at him in run protection, he misses his guy. In fact, I've seen him block our own guy in the back as opposed to hitting a defensive player. So Bradford is going to be your guy that go back and watch some film, because a lot of the problems that this offense has is because of him. He is a major hole on that offensive line. Unfortunately, he's still somehow better than the guy behind him. So sadly, I had like a whole section of clips that I put together to make myself sad, and so I'll have to show them to you because it's disappointing. But I don't have them here today.
Oh, I was all, it's like roll the clip.
Yeah, no, I don't have it. I don't have any video clips for today. I didn't have time for any of that type of prep for this show.
Understood. Yeah, it's Monday, so.
Yep. Yeah, everybody was a little bit of a slow mover. Mostly for me, I was doing other stuff, and then I looked down and I'm like, oh, I should probably go start this show in 7 minutes.
I was like, oh, it started 7 minutes ago.
Right. Yep. So been that kind of day.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're also getting hit with this tropical storm thing. I'm not getting hit with it that badly, but I hear that the Jersey Shore is getting, beaten up a little bit.
Yep.
Right now in Wildwood, they have the boardwalk down for the first time in I think something like 80 years. It might even be more than that.
Wow. Yeah, we had thunderstorms and stuff rolling through yesterday. So even if
Chris, he's blocked. Moose, he's blocked. You don't need to talk about him anymore. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Exactly.
Yeah, poof.
Yeah, no, if we would have had a home game for Toronto, it would have been delayed because we had lightning all over the place. So,
well, that's the good thing about having a roof.
Doesn't matter for lightning, because it's open on the ends.
Yeah,
it will still stop the game.
Yeah, Seattle doesn't have like a fully enclosed retractable roof. It's just an over-the-top roof where the ends are still all exposed.
Yep. Yeah, and as soon as you have that, if there's lightning, it's the same as if it's an open air.
Such is life. I know that it gets cold in October, so I would have still loved to go see baseball.
Yep. And it is definitely getting cold,
And I will say this, it is likely that if Milwaukee wins the series and Seattle wins the series, or maybe even worse yet, Toronto, it may be the least watched World Series ever.
I don't know. If the Brewers and the Mariners get
I think that'll draw well.
There will be some intrigue to it because the Brewers have never won and the Mariners have never been.
To the baseball purists.
Sure.
And I don't know that there's enough of them to make a blip on the Nielsen ratings.
I mean, I don't know. Hopefully we find out.
Yeah, I think if it's LA versus Seattle, you'll have everybody on the West Coast.
Oh, of
root
course.
For Seattle anyways. You know what I mean? I think that that's a real thing. And the truth of the matter is I think that you definitely have the pitching staff to be able to beat them because they can't hit left-handed pitching.
Yeah.
And so left-handed pitchers, you could live with them all series long and beat them in games like 4-2.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I'm rooting for you guys now. That you guys are left. Well, there is some East Coast bias. You're right.
Oh, of course there is.
But that's okay. That's why you guys live out in the West Coast, so that you could say there's East Coast bias. Yeah, they closed the boardwalk, but they took down the boardwalk. They're rebuilding it. When?
Yeah.
So it's not that it's been closed. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's gone. Poof. They're
Bye-bye.
fixing the boards for the first time in a long time.
Poof. Bye-bye.
I mean, that's probably good. Yeah, I mean, I think there will be quite a bit of, especially if LA gets in, there's going to be a lot of people rooting for Seattle just because they don't want to see LA win.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I just think that the
it's this right here.
Dodgers.
It's this right here. There's a lot of this. I will root for whoever isn't LA.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you look at all these teams that are in the playoffs right now. Brewers were not playing their best ball heading into the playoffs.
Sure.
Blue Jays were not playing their best baseball heading into the playoffs. The Mariners weren't for a while, but then like the last 2 weeks of the season, they started to get hot again and kind of started to separate themselves from the Astros and everybody else.
I mean, they won 15 of 18. You can't say they.
No, but like they were like heading into September, they weren't playing their best ball. But then like as September went on, they started to like win like towards the last 2 weeks of the season. They got hot. Then you got the Dodgers, who just seemed like they were just kind of dicking around for 5.5 months. Then they looked at their watch. Oh, it's September.
Time
We'll
to go.
start playing like the Dodgers now.
Still in the 80s. Well, it was like 38 overnight here, so it's a little chilly here in the Seattle area.
Yeah, it's probably about 60 degrees here. I don't know. I haven't looked outside, but 56.
Yeah, that'll be our high today. Will be about 61, something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna be
it's probably same.
We're gonna be 68, 70 today.
It says 60 is our high. So,
there you go.
And lots of rain. And there's your weather forecast for today.
That's right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Exactly. Now over to traffic.
You don't got to worry about that till Wednesday.
Right. That does get us to the top of the show, though. It's been a weird one. Thanks for playing along. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our content to you. Otherwise, we are going to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.